Y'all know now my wife even gives us the countdown, don't she, Jane? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Jealousy will
Thank you,
get you
thank you,
nowhere.
thank you, Miss Engineer. You
We
hear,
just like
Gina?
we just like Bezos. We going to the moon.
That's right. Onward and upward.
Ah, hey, good morning, everybody out there in podcast land. Y'all know
Good
what you
morning.
have. The simple test. Golly, trying to talk all slick, choking myself. You have the simple task of doing the day. You want to know what it is? It's called learning something. A simple task for everybody today in my Gina Lee voice, learning something. As Gina Lee always promotes, learning something. You have a very simple task today. It's called learning something.
Right.
You are tuned in now to Simply Us. Good morning, Gina Lee.
Good morning, Party Marty.
That's our historian. Good morning, my lovely wife, CC.
Good morning.
That's our engineer at current events. Watch this. Y'all wasn't ready for that. We read today, Gina. Look, we read. We read. Founder, host. We read today. Party Marty, founder, creator, host, moderator, person that says we go live. That's 5. Now number 6, Gina's graphic designer for her
Lord.
show. 6. I got 6 tasks, y'all. 6 different titles. I don't care. Michael Jordan only got 6. I got 6 too.
All right.
Anyway, y'all, thanks for letting us and welcoming us into your home again this morning. Y'all know in a minute, Dr. Ted will be joining us. He does his grand interest thing, as the ladies would call it. What do y'all call it, ladies?
Fashionably late.
Fashionably late. Don't nobody got a better fashionably late thing than my grandson Corey. Corey fashionably late is the parties from 9 to 2. He'll get there at 1. Good morning, BB. Yeah.
Good morning,
He's
BB.
fashionably late to another thing. Hey, y'all, really, let's get into it. Last week we had a shortened show because not last week, Tuesday we had a shortened show because I had a doctor's appointment. You know, a doctor's appointment just to get some blood drawn. My wife and myself, y'all know I'm up in the age. I just dress like this. I just dress as my kids always say, like this, but I'm literally going on 65 years old. Somebody happened to ask me this, Gina, too. Somebody said, you always talk about this in Gina in your kindergarten class, and you telling her age. I don't think Gina give a damn about me telling her age. Gina is so proud. Hey, Doc, I told you I had you. Didn't I say Doc was going to make that smooth entrance? I knew he was going to make that smooth entrance. That's what I say. That's Doc thing. From now on, I'm going to let somebody else do the we live so I can pop in there like Doc do. I like that thing. Good morning, Doc.
He's segueing in.
Yeah, you segueing in. Hey, y'all, before we start, let's talk about Doc's new promotion. His first day yesterday, entering into his brand new podcast, Dr. Ted Talk. Hands up. It was really cool. Doc gave us a little format on what he's going to be doing. Doc, I see you wear your seatbelt too. That's a good thing, man. Yeah. I see you wear your seatbelt. Real talk. Yeah, and not to mention, it's the law. My wife get on me all the time about me wearing mine. But anyway, and it's the law. Anyway, y'all don't know now. We knocking them down. We are full-fledged podcast group. Right now, you're watching us as a group. We call ourselves Simply Us. Gina Lee on Friday at 6. No, Gina Lee is on Friday at 9:30 a.m. She has her show that's called Did You Know? Did you know? And then she do like this. Did you know? And she talks about history, things that's going on around the world, not just Baltimore, things that's going on around the world that you may not have known. And a lot of times you didn't know. Dr. Sutton, his show is on Wednesday evening at 6:30. It's called Dr. Ted Talks. It's called Dr. Ted Talks. He says it's called TED Talks, but I'm calling it Dr. Ted Talks because Dr. Ted doesn't make a big deal about being a doctor. But I'm going to make a big deal about it for him, whether he likes it or not. We have black doctors, y'all. We have black doctors. You have a PhD, you are a doctor. When you see Billy Jim Bob walking around with his white coat on and his stethoscope around his neck, when you see him over there, the owner of Coca-Cola, when you see them over there dressed in all white, the first thing they make sure is you call them a doctor. Their tag says doctor. When you call their house, you've reached the home of Dr. Kildare. All that kind of stuff like that. Well, Dr. Ted, I understand that you're a humble guy and you don't make a big deal about that because you're more impressed with the work you've done than your title. But I'm more impressed with the title than everybody else has to be. Because I know Gene and Doc, they got degrees. I ain't got a degree in nothing. You know what I mean? But I got a PhD in common sense and I got a master's in these streets. Real talk.
I know that's right.
You know that my wife is literally one of the smartest people I know. She is the engineer of the show. This is what she does. She's a mad scientist. She sat down yesterday when Dr. Ted was doing his show. I sat over there behind her for a minute while she was doing that, just so we would be on the same screen. I didn't think I would get in there. But after I sat down and watched what Cece was doing, Gina already knows this, and Doc was a world traveler. He already knows. I had no idea what she does. It's a lot to sitting behind that computer and hitting some buttons. You feel me? Being an engineer, it's a lot more to it. When you see them hoppers go over there and say they're going to the studio, all we think is they go in and sit behind the board and the guy do that. It's a lot to running that panel, that brains.
Yeah.
Even though today, like I'm saying, we're red. I said, what we going to be today? CC the color. She said, I wouldn't be seen in green. I don't know about you, but I don't like blue. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He said, I would be dead if today we weren't red. I said, so that's what's up. That's what we're doing, y'all. Hey, y'all, without further ado, we get out, we talk about a few topics, we go around the horn, do our little thing. If you ever watch Gina, lots of times you see her in her car. If you ever watch Dr. Ted, lots of times you see him in his car. Dr. Ted is a family man, family first, and he's ripping and running, doing some things in the community and dealing with his family. Gina Lee, I can tell her business is a volunteer. She's a person that you can call and say, you're responsible for taking your nephew to camp. And then you think like, when? Tuesday? He said, no, the summer. What day is summer? So see, Gina Lee takes her nephew to camp every day. So I'm just that's something. It's called commitment. You know what I mean, y'all? You got to be committed to some things. You got to be committed to some things. And we at Simply Us, y'all, are committed to information. We're committed to the podcast. We're committed to be part of taking charge on y'all learning something. That was smooth. Hands up for me, what I just said. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. We're committed for everybody trying to learn something. And if you're not careful, you're going to laugh and joke, and I may cry, and we're going to kick it and have fun, and we'll smirk and all that kind of stuff. But believe you me, if you want to learn something, you're in the right place. All right, y'all, we always start this thing off. The first thing you may want to learn, hey, we get ready to talk about you right now, Cousin Helen from North Carolina. I call her Big Cuz. We're going to talk about her right now.
Shouting out Marion Jackson too, my good friend. Who
is she there?
Yes, she is. Right there clapping. Hey, Marion.
Hey. I heard your husband is doing a lot better. He just had a little surgery. Y'all praying for her husband. If y'all don't know who Marion is, her husband is Dirk. If you anything in the Park Heights area, anything to do with them wrecks, anything to do with anything in that neighborhood, Dirk, that's her husband. That's my man. That's my man. He's all into everything, man. All right, y'all. We're going to start our podcast as we always do with a quick moment of prayer. We're going to get into our moment of silence, then we're going to start the show. Prayer starting. Father God, thank you for the wonderful things that's going on in all our lives. Father God, we pray that you touch and keep us all close. Father God, we always pray that you keep the panel close, keep the word strong, keep the message strong. Father God, we always pray for those persons over there fighting those God-forsaken wars, so we can sit over here and do podcasts, watch Raven games, eat bonbons. Father God, we always pray for everybody that's dealing with these losses of the pandemic. We pray for the families, everybody that's in earshot. Father God, my big cousin is on there listening, and she has something that she greets us with every morning. And every morning I'll always greet you with it. You don't need anything of the Lord but two things: grace and mercy, she says. Yeah. Every day she said, that's all you need is grace and mercy. After God gives you grace and mercy, you need to do the rest on your own. You need to do the rest on your own. So we ask God for his grace and mercy. Moment of silence, please. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Hey, y'all, you know what? We're in uncharted waters now. You know what I mean? We have everybody here has a show, except Cece. But Cece's show is to get all the shows right. Miss Engineer. Okay, y'all. I had to throw that in there because she took my job. You're welcome, man, Marion. Thank you. Tell your husband, get well soon. Hey, listen, Cece took my job after I left the Toolies for our last podcast. I was supposed to be off on my own. I thought I'd finally arrived. You know what? I was going to do this. I was going to do this. Cece took my job. That's okay. I'm not going to make it a big deal.
You still arrived. Don't worry about it. You have still arrived.
See, my wife always has something nice to say right while she's stealing my job. But it's not a big deal to me. I'm going to live on without it. Hey, y'all, let's get into the podcast. All right, y'all, let's think about this today. Let me talk about one thing that I would like to mention. It's called commitment. It's called commitment. You know, Dr. Sutton, and I'm going to tell y'all something else. You can laugh because my wife said, there you go again. I've called Dr. Sutton Dr. Taylor more times than his real name. So when I screwed it up, y'all, that's because I worked for the great Taylor Manor, and for 15, 16 years, it was always Dr. Taylor, and the Dr. Taylor, the T's get me over there caught up. I'm gonna say something else to make you laugh. Dr. Sutton is a world traveler. He's a paid speaker. He has a PhD. But Gina found out the other day, and Cece, when Doc was over there for the first time doing his own podcast, him too was nervous. Did you see him? Him too was nervous. Him too said a rah about 16 times in one. And a rah. I want y'all to know it's real simple when you're out here doing it, you know, with 500 people watching you. Dr. Ted's a speaker. He speaks to rooms, thousands of people. He speaks to thousands of people. When you just speaking with yourself and you riding along and you just had 2 emergencies, you'll be surprised how it is to get over there, how you get twisted for a minute. It's not easy. Doc Gina and I, when Gina was doing her podcast, and I'm always out here. God gave me the gift of the gab, and I got it. My wife got to lift her head up to tell me stop talking. This talking is what I do. I'm party. You know what I mean? So Gina got over there. She gonna do her podcast. Ain't no problem. I'm her Roman reporter at her first show. I'm going to do the James Mosier Field. So it didn't mean nothing. We pulled up over there. We laughing, having a good time. It didn't mean nothing. Guess what? By the time Gina went over there and set up her little camera in the background, we were sitting over here nervous as 2 hookers in church. I don't know what was going on. You feel me? I don't know. It threw me off. But Gina had everything set up, Ted. The background was good. The school was there. I was ready. Cece sitting there, but like the mad scientist on her thing, we was ready. But when time come to actually do that podcast that I do every day, now for me to be a reporter for, I was nervous. Now,
so was I.
5 minutes later, after she started talking, this is Gina reporting. Did you know? Then halfway through, we got back to normal. So, Cece, didn't Ted do the same thing? Did you see it, Gina?
Yeah.
Did you see it? He started rolling for a little while. First, he was running on. Everything was going together. You know what I mean? Then after that, he stepped back like he did in there.
But one thing about Dr. Ted, when he talking about what he want to talk about, he's so passionate. So that those nerves went right out the window once he started getting into it.
But, you know what? And just to share with y'all,
just to share with y'all, so much was kind of going on. I was really just dealing with two emergencies, and
Yeah.
I wasn't where in the location I was trying to get to because I was like I wanted to make sure that I had a good internet connection. So for the beginning, I wanted to be home. So I wasn't able to make it home. I was only able to make it to the parking lot. So and I had my sons in the car, so I was trying to get them out the car. Then they wanted to be on the program, so they started being around the car. So when you saw me looking around and stuff, they was literally their friends came over and they were playing around my car. I'm like, I'm about to interview them. I'm about to
Yeah.
interview them. I'm about to pull them right in this car and finish this interview. So they were like, doing stuff and at the window, like trying to ask me questions. I'm like, hey yo, you know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? I said, and it was funny because I don't know how it sounds when people call you, but my godson that was supposed to be on the show, he actually ended up getting jammed up. So now he was calling me as I'm talking, trying to get on, and I'm just like, I can't even, like stop to tell him, what I'm saying, like either get on the link or wait till I finish, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was crazy. So when I was looking around, I had kids on the side of my car, like, what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm about to tell them to get in the car and get interviewed. And I
But you
say that
know what?
because really, it was
But you
so
know
much
what,
going
Dr.
on.
Ted? That's one thing about us on this podcast. That's what we pride ourselves on is real people talking
Yeah.
about real things. And
Yeah.
sometimes the situation we in is real.
Oh,
It
it
Yeah.
was
ain't
real. It
always,
was definitely real.
we not that type that can always be sitting in the studio and sitting at home. Sometimes we on the move, but just like my
Right,
husband said, we made a commitment and we stick by it. No matter if we got to be in a car, on the field, on
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Avenue, we just we just do our thing from wherever.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
right.
that's Mike.
right.
Good morning, Michael Singletary. That's Michael Singletary talking about the awesome job. He was interviewed. Hey, Dre. Good morning, Dre. What's up, Dre? My man, my main man. That's my family there. Michael Singletary just now popped in and he just came up with, put it back up, SCC. Michael Singletary's comment, please. Michael Singletary. Gina, you were a true historian, James Mosier, that day we interviewed him. Dr. Sutton, tribe champion for justice. We were looking for names for Dr. Sutton's show. So Michael Singletary is our first person to throw his hand in there. He said, Dr. Sutton, champion for justice. I like that, Mike.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
that.
that too. I like that
I
too.
like
Yeah.
I like it. Here's one I came up with. You know what I mean? Him pointing in direction. I wanted to have a kid there with his hand on his shoulder, pointing in direction, giving him direction that says, if it is to be, let it start with me. Just stand there with a kid,
Hmm.
hold him on his shoulder, point in the direction. If it is to be, let it start with me. That's the saying that I've always wanted to have for a person like Dr. Sutton that's giving you direction. So y'all keep on with these. Y'all keep on with the names that Doc Sutton may want to use and what have you. Okay,
And
we're gonna
guess
start
what?
off.
Wait a minute, 1 second, baby. Doc, he was talking about my earrings, but he haven't caught on yet that you and I, we always make sure that we in some kind of theme for this thing. You see Doc's t-shirt, you see I got equality here and my earrings to match his shirt. So you see,
Right.
we got a thing going on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ain't that something?
Hater.
Now I gotta figure out what I, Regina, we gotta figure out what we got where to. First, we had to figure out when to get here. Then we had to figure out a topic. Now we gotta figure out a wardrobe too. Oh Lord. Hey y'all, one more thing for the podcast, Jack. I love this. I love this. I love this. All right, y'all. Listen. Hey Doc, well, we always ask you. You got a lot going on. You need to go first, or what's going on?
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, I do got a lot, kind of always going on. It's crazy because actually, even, I was about to have a baby on here with me. You know what I'm saying? My goddaughter, I ended up taking her last night, and she's what? How old? She just turned 1, and I tell you, and I had my hands full last night. But I really loved it and things. And she's about to be on the show with me, and her mother came and got her right beforehand. I told you that's why I said it's so funny. I can't make this stuff up. I don't know what an average life is. Like I said, what do average people do? Do they go to the movies, they go bowling sometimes. I'm like, I don't know what average is, because I be down Central Booking. I'm in a situation with a grandmother, having a problem with a grandson, and it's just I don't even know what I say. What do regular people? What should they be? What should I do? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know how to turn it down, to be honest with you. So I just be tripping about some of that stuff. So it's really something though, and it's funny because I can share with y'all. I guess I'm sharing with everybody right now.
There you
What I'm saying?
go.
But it be so much. You know what I'm saying? That's just a different thing, and I'm just like, man, you cannot make this stuff up that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, and just like yesterday with the kids. So I got a bunch of kids that's like literally at my window. I started to take the camera and put it over there, like look at this. You know what I'm saying? You know. So it's
Hey,
really something. But I pride myself with also being okay to be a mentor to my children's friends and my daughter's friends, and everything else. And I'm glad that they actually have somebody that if they need somebody to talk to, if they need got a situation going on, that I'm gonna definitely be there. You know. And but one thing I did want to share, my wife was telling me a little bit today about a situation with Simone Biles, what I'm saying, with the who's in the Olympics. And she had pulled out, but the key piece was is they were really mistreating this girl. And because she was so good at what she could do, they actually said that they're putting her in another category, and they're just going to judge her on because she's in a class by herself. Because what they said is if people try to do the tricks that she can do, they may hurt themselves. So she's being
okay.
penalized for being too good.
Right.
Right.
And I just thought that was just like for some reason, it seems like people of color have to change. They'll change the goalpost or change the finish line. What I'm saying, because of certain things. And so she was telling me about that, and I said, well, you know what, that's going to be one of the things that I'm actually going to just bring up and touch base with. What I'm saying, because when a person has gone through so much to try to make it to the Olympics, and then they get to a point, and then they get there, and then the people say, well, you're actually so good that we're going to change how we score you. I think
Mhm.
that's. I mean, it's like you're starting to hear certain things that has been unprecedented, meaning like they've never done certain things even before, and so that's just how that is. That was just one of the things that I wanted to mention. I said my wife had got me started really.
Yeah, because it's a shame that they decided to raise the bar so that they could diminish her accomplishment. I
Right,
mean,
right,
she is fantastic, one of the best gymnasts the world has ever seen. You know, and if it was one of the wonderful people, then it would be okay for her to be that great. But because
Mm-hmm.
she's one of the beautiful people, then they
right,
want
right,
to raise the bar in hopes that they can cause her to fail. And
right,
that's just
right.
that's just crazy. It's our
I mean,
world though.
Gina,
it's
go ahead.
unprecedented. It's unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, Gina.
Yeah, I agree that they are using her kind of like a poster child right at this point,
Hmm.
trying to just say, well, see, we told you that they couldn't meet the requirements or whatever, that, but the pressure that she's been under is just incredible, you know a lot of us, I mean, we just said just doing this podcast, nervous as heck. So can you imagine what her nerves are like on a world stage? And then, to be told that, well, we're going to raise, like you say, raise the bar so that, somebody else could possibly beat you.
Right. Instead of them encouraging the rest of them to get better. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying this is the standard that you should meet.
I mean, the girl has moves already on the mat that are named after her. So I figure like this, she's got what, 11 gold medals. Go, just retire, enjoy your life. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's not like they're breaking her.
Right, because she's still a very young woman, and her accomplishments are so great. And the thing about her withdrawing from the Olympics, people have to understand that. How old is Simone Biles, Doc? She's in her early 20s. I'm not sure how old she is.
She's a kid, whatever old she is. She's still a kid.
And they're over there in Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? She's no stranger to the big stage. But things are so different now with COVID. She said she's never been in a competition and not had her parents in the stand. And that may seem like wham, cry baby or whatever, but that's real. You know what I'm saying? Talking to him on the Zoom, on the phone, being able to look, just like we were saying about Gina's podcast, Doc's was different. He was there by himself. He had the kids outside the window and all of that. Well, Gina was nervous too, but we were all right there. So
laughing, joking, talking 15 minutes prior, setting up together.
Right. So being able to look out into the stands and see those familiar faces of the people that love you unconditionally, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. And, she said she withdrew for her mental health, and I respect that. She don't have anything else to prove. She proved it. She's the best that ever did it. So she already proved that. So to, put yourself through mental anguish just to pacify and placate someone else, she said she wasn't going to do it. And I say, good for you, Simone Biles.
Plus the fact that she's at an age now where she's actually contemplating being a parent, a mother, or having children. So,
she's 24, Brenda said.
Exactly. It's at that time, where she's thinking about starting a family,
Right.
So she'll be fine. She'll be fine. And if she never puts her foot on the mat again, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll backfire on them. That topic that Dr. Ted came up with, it backfired on the world with Tiger Woods. If you think back about what they started doing, Tiger Woods was hitting the driver so long. I play golf. He was hitting balls so far that what they did, they said that they started lowering her scores on her on purpose so she wouldn't win. Used to do gymnastics as one of the judges have issues. Okay, there you go. That's some knowledge, Cynthia. I didn't know that. They started lowering their scores. Let me tell you something. With Tiger Woods, they tried to make golf courses Tiger-proof. Tiger hits the ball so long, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. What they didn't know was they was trying so hard to make it hard for Tiger. All they did was put all the regular people out of the game. Because if Tiger couldn't do it, you ain't got a chance on doing it. So Tiger was winning 11 strokes, 12 strokes, because he could get out of trouble. And I sit back and think about Doc's point. And to piggyback on this topic, but spin off of it some, I want you to think about this here. Now, we laugh and joke. When we think of being a doctor, think of being a lawyer, you think of these high-profile, successful people, and we think that what do? They just go over to Miami when they vacation home, and Doc snatches his family up and said, we're going to fly out to Acapulco for the weekend to get on the yacht and all that. Let's think about his wife. Let's think about his wife. She spent all this time dealing with him, probably been with him when he was crazy Ted, dealing with him as a drug dealer, maybe using drugs, went through all this chaos and confusion dealing with this man. Now he done went off to become a doctor with a PhD. Here we go. Now we're going to Miami. Now we're rich. Life is good. And every day she wake up, he going off to save the world again. Save the world again. Every time Ted get on a plane and stuff like that, it's a bomb on it. Going to Afghanistan. Everybody, we're going to New York. We ain't going to New York to see Pearly Gina or the Wizard of Oz. We're going to New York. It's a gang summit. I know what this is not what a doctor's supposed to be doing. This is not what we see as a doctor. You feel me? He said something to us that's real heavy. And I want y'all to think about this out there in podcast land when you watch Dr. Ted's show. He said, if you do what you like doing, you'll never work a day in your life. I don't know, he said his father or somebody told me, he said, anything in life you're good at, you're going to like. Anything that you like, you'll be good at. Me and my wife own Party Marty's Moon Bouncers. Shout out shameless self-promotion. 410-800-6628. 410-800-6628. We rent Moon Bouncers, kids party rental, water slides. We have the largest water slide collection that I would like to think in Baltimore. I know in Baltimore, maybe in Maryland. But anyhow, let me tell you something. I use the same mentality that I used when I was on the corner. I got the same dope cokes and readies that I always had. Now they cotton candy, popcorn, moon bouncers, and water slides. I got the same runners that I always had. Now they employees. I got the same testers that I used to throw down the alley and watch the dope fiends pick them up. Now they call specials. That's the same thing. I incorporated the same thing I was doing and made myself successful with it. You need to figure out what you can do that you're best at. And when you're even better than that, you need to get you the right partner. I'll put Gina's business out here, and I'm sorry to say this. I apologize for telling your business. Gina Lee had someone wonderful in her life that passed on. I know it is beating her up. I can say this, whipping her ass. You know what I mean? That she found this wonderful individual and is not here for because she is a prize catch. Everybody wants to be married. Everybody wants to have that special someone. And she said to me, Party, you know what I mean? I miss him every day because he stimulates other stuff. He was sick towards the end. She ain't give up. I just had a sickly friend, and I'm going to deal with my sickly friend and have as much time as I can with him. That's it. That's all you can do. My wife is an awesome part of me. I don't do nothing. When we start talking to the doctor, me and my wife have to literally go into our appointments together. Because I don't know what pills I take. I don't know my glucose. I don't know none of that. We a ventriloquist act, right, baby? They ask me.
That's what I always tell them when we go in there, because our doctor he always has students and stuff, and I always tell them we're ventriloquist act. If you ask him a question, I'll answer.
I'm going to
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Dr. Sutton over there, this is the first time, at least now he on the passenger side. I ain't never even seen him on the passenger side. Everything he do, he always driving when he do it. He's saving the world, fixing this, doing that, and driving. At least this time, somebody's driving for a minute. But his wife's sitting over there saying, after I drop you off, I got 19 more things to do. Everybody else at the doctor, their day is, I need to go check the Dow Jones to see what my stocks is. His day is, well, I got to go over Central Booking. I got another one locked up. We got to figure out what we going to do, y'all. And my Jesse Jackson voice, let's march.
Right.
Let's march.
And Doc, tell your wife I totally understand.
Yeah, go ahead, Doc. Finish your program.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I'm definitely going. Tell us to just step out the car for a second. But you know what? I was telling somebody the other day that you know what? Instead of me, I don't look at it as a burden. I look at it as a blessing. And because I said I got a message where on my answer machine, I had to listen to it a couple of times, but it was a young man, and actually he was running from the police, and you can hear the siren. He was over there in the area, near Ashford and over there near North Avenue and near Coppin and things, right? But he was and he was just calling. He was like, Mr. Ted. He was like, Mr. Ted, he was just like, I'm trying to get you. And I think the real part that I was getting to, I said, my God, this young man is calling me while he is running from the police. And I'm like, so in some way, he thought that calling me could fix something. And to me, you have to understand the part that you play in people's lives. You may never know how significant you are to them. And
Right.
and so for this young man to actually call me while he is I'm like, he should be thinking about what alley I'm gonna go down, or like I'm gonna jump over a
Right.
fence or a car or something. And I'm like, and you are calling me. I can't help you right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't do. But to me, it was a reminder that that when you are the type of person that you are, to be as positive or to be somebody that's encouraging, or just like you only come in contact with two kinds of people, and that's dream killers and dream builders. And so I want to be a dream builder. I want to be a person that is speaking life and not death into people. And so since they are not used to that, saying, I had a young man that's calling me why he is running from the police, thinking that I could fix the situation. And I'm just like, that's really a heavy charge to put on a person. But instead of me looking at it as a burden, I'm thanking God that they would call me, saying in a situation, or call, yes, if you get ready to do something that might mean your life, or you might end up maybe taking somebody else's life, I want you to call Dr. Ted. This is everybody out there in Todd land. Call Dr. Ted. You know what I'm saying? Because
There you go,
sometimes you
Doc. That's
already
what's
know the
up.
answer you're going to get when you call Pookie, or if you call Black, or if you call Little Day Day or Little Bay Boy. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they may not give you the best advice because they're not in the best place themselves.
Right.
Good morning, Big John Lucas, my friend. John was one of my co-workers and good friends and stuff, but he's like you, Doc. He spits a lot of knowledge. It's someone I'd like for y'all to get together and meet. But on that note, before we move on, I'm going to tell you about that. You think about it, your safety net. CC and I, we worried, you know what I mean? You even want to hold on. I wasn't crazy about giving Gina her show. I can see it's not a problem because Gina's our safety net. You know what I mean? She comes up there. You say, "Well, I wonder what we're going to use for what's her CC and Gina talk," and they figure out what's her topic. And then when she said, "I said, Gina, I don't, know we got a lot to do." She said, "Oh, well, I have two. You want me to do two?" That remember that first album? See, we didn't
Yeah.
know how to fill in our hour, Doc. When we started, we didn't know how to get an hour in. We had no idea how to do an hour show. Now we do an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes like it ain't nothing. So we just used Gina. We got our format together and we said, CC, we're gonna go. We're gonna let Gina talk, and then we're gonna do something. Then we're gonna let Gina talk, and we're gonna do something, and we're gonna let Gina talk because that was our safety blanket. That was our safety blanket. You know what I mean? And you get nervous when you want to let your blanket out there. But that's where we make a mistake. When you let people grow, you're gonna prosper anyway. You're gonna
Yeah.
prosper anyway. When she did her podcast, that made me her Roman reporter. That made me on the field, me and Michael Singletary doing James Moses thing. I was a Roman reporter. I was with my boy Tony. I was a Roman reporter. I enjoyed being a Roman reporter. So in other words, what I'm saying is sometimes you stunt your growth because you're scared of change. Right now,
Absolutely.
we know, look how much change this is. Our podcast was always in the evening, 7 o'clock, no problem. Golly, this 9:30 comes so fast in the morning. Oh my God, what we doing? Cece, where's my day? I'm running my head cut off. See, now my wife calmly says, okay, it's 9:10. In case you gotta go to the bathroom, in case you gotta get some ice, in case you gotta do that. I'm like, you know what I mean? And then I'm okay. Then at 9:20, I say, I gotta go to the bathroom. Only because of the change. Only because of the time change, something as small as that. So we'll move along. But shout out to your wife and family, Doc, who deals with the situation that you put them in. So anybody else out there that would say, hey, I got some, my doctor has a PhD, and I think that we should be rich. and you living like Gina. Gina say, I come home, my mother just never bought me 2 outfits. I look, here's a girl I ain't never seen in my life sitting in my living room with my new outfit on. She told me I got to do my homework, but they going to the Peabody Institute to watch Marvin Gaye sing in my outfit. How do you play it off if you want? Hey, Big Al, how you doing? You can say what you want, but you got a little green-eyed monster right there. You got some jealousy. Everybody got a little hate in it. We normal.
Yeah.
You looking at you treating her better. You treat me. I did my homework. I'm a straight A suit. Hey, there you go, Sash. Good morning. Boy, they chiming in. They banging in. I am ecstatic. Hands up to all our people that's listening. Hands up to our audience. Hands up. They banging up in there, y'all. They banging in. Everybody's coming in to support us. Yes, 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 yes. I just love it. We put some work into this, and y'all are showing us that you appreciate it. And damn it, I love it. Y'all know how I am. God ain't finished with me yet. My wife is lifting her head up, so that means I've been talking a little while. But anyhow, let's move on to the next thing. Dr. Ted, you did that. You did that. You come in with that positive energy. You know what I mean? Stan, thank you for your service. Marines, hoorah, hoorah. Thank you for your service. Man, we love y'all, man. Now, here's what we do. We go to the next thing, y'all. I didn't even get to do my segue in before I get ready to start crying. I'm getting ready to start crying. This podcast started something. Shout out to Donnie Glover and BlackUSA.News for getting us started. It's just started something that we was doing. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I don't know about y'all out there, but I love it. You know, reaching people, I love it. You know what I mean? I tell my story 100 times. John Lucas, man, God is doing great things with you, Maurice. Thank you, my friend. God is doing great things, y'all, with the ex-West Baltimore dope fiend, jailbird thug. Say it again. God is doing great things with the West Baltimore ex-dope fiend, jailbird thug. For y'all start giving up on your parents and your cousins and your family and stuff like that that's strung out there on drugs and stuff. My drug of choice was dope, coke, and ready, and alcohol, and anything else I could get my hands on. I weighed 131 pounds with a 29 waist, overnights in the penitentiary, Hagerstown, Butler Building, BCCC, JI, City Jail, Boys Village, Training School, Central Lodge. You are looking at a miracle. People do not. Hey, Lisa, how you doing, family?
Hey, Lisa.
Do not give up on a miracle before it happens. Do not give up on us before it happens. There are people that's chiming in to listen, to learn, to talk, to appreciate, to applaud, to compliment, to help out the ex-West Baltimore dope fiend, jailbird thug. And all I ask for is what my big cuz Helen says, God's grace and mercy. That's all I need. That's all I need. I am so ecstatic about this podcast and where we are. Dr. Ted, before we leave, Dr. Ted says, you show me your 7 friends, and I'll show you your future. Well, you looking at 3 of mine. Amen, Al. And every time you see something bang up over there, comment, you looking at 1 more, my friends. This is my circle. This is my circle. This is my circle. This is my circle. Hey, y'all. I'm Party Marty. Thanks for letting me share. All right, moving right along. Hands up to the work that God did His grace and mercy on this no good fool. Shook my little dusty ass and made me what I am now. We're going to move up now. Y'all get ready to get a treat now. Here's something don't nobody else have. Don't nobody else have. I'm going to do this real quick. Y'all don't know what this get ready to be called. My panel going to tell y'all. We're going to do it on 1. Exactly what y'all get ready to be part of. I'm going to do the countdown, and my panel going to tell y'all exactly what you get ready to treat and seeing. It's called 3, 2, 1. What's it called?
Segue in.
Get ready, segue in. It goes something like this. I say, Gina from Simply Us. What's your topic today? Let's talk.
Well, first of all, let me wipe the tears from my eyes.
Let me get mine too.
This is Gina Lee reporting for Simply Us. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Um,
morning.
Good morning.
it seems like our theme this week has been those that have come from and achieved. So, following our theme, and you know what you always say, Party Marty, is let the miracle happen. I thought I'd talk about a person that we all know that let the miracle happen.
Wow.
And that person is Charles
Rodney.
Stanley Dutton,
Rock.
better known as The Rock.
Rock. I knew that. That's
That's
the rock.
it. Yep, The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock actually, he was born in 1951, and he grew up in East Baltimore at Latrobe Projects. The Latrobe, they call it public housing, you know. Um, but as a child, you know, and where we might have snowball fights, they had rock fights, okay?
Oh my.
And that's where he got his name from because they used to have, he said they would have boxes and trash can lids as their fort. And if your fort got knocked down, then you had to charge at the other side to, you know, win the battle. He said and he would get knocked in the head a lot with rocks. So he would come home busted head. Really, he said he needed stitches, but you know his mother was like, "Walk it off," you know. So as the nickname Rock, it was actually Rockhead at the time, stuck with him, and he started to go into a little bit of boxing in the neighborhood community or whatever, and they they shortened it to Rock, and it stuck with him all his life. Well, he only went to school up to about like age 12. He dropped out, and he ended up going back and forth into like juvenile facilities because his mother couldn't control him. And then he went to um, a neighborhood establishment, a bar. He couldn't get in, of course. He was 16. And there was a gentleman coming out the bar that started an argument with him. He was 20. And he and the gentleman got into a fight. And the man stabbed him 7 times. He said he almost killed him, but he wrestled the knife from the guy and stabbed the man repeatedly, and the guy died. Well, from that, he got 3 years. Now, mind you, the guy was a black guy. He got 3 years for killing the black guy, right? He only served 20 months. But then he came back out and was violated. His probation was violated for handgun possession. So he had to go back to jail. Now, he first served in Jessup, and then he served in the Maryland Penitentiary. And ironically, when he was growing up, right out of his bedroom window was the Maryland Penitentiary.
Oh
And
wow.
he was serving time in it. So anyway, while in the Maryland Penitentiary, he got into another fight with his cellmate. And the cellmate stabbed him in the neck. He almost died again. And but because of that, he was given solitary confinement. And then he got into another fight with a guard, a white guard. And he challenged him. He said, I can beat you up, blah, blah, blah. And so the guard said, oh, yeah, come on in this room. And he took him in a room by himself, just him and the guard. They threw blows, blah, blah, blah. And Rock tore him up. Well, the guard was pressed by his superiors to press charges. So he did. So that tacked on another 8 years
Gee,
to wrap sentence. So he said, as he got older, he makes a joke about the fact. He said, I killed a black man and I got 3 years, but I punched a white man and I got 8.
Mm.
So, but anyway, he served his time, and while again after that, he was put in solitary confinement again because they wanted him to clean toilets, and he was like, "It's not happening." So they put him in solitary confinement. You're allowed 1 book when you go in solitary confinement, and he just grabbed the book off the shelf. He didn't even care what it was. He was just like, you know. So he went in solitary confinement, and just so happened that the book was a book by August Wilson, and it was a book of plays. I don't know if you know who August Wilson is. He's a very famous African American playwright. And he started to read the plays, and they fascinated him. And when he came out of solitary confinement, he went to the warden and he said he wanted to start a drama troupe. And the warden was like, okay, I'll let you do that if you promise to get your GED. He was like, okay, you
Wow.
got a deal. During that time, he also started leaning toward the Black Panther Party. He became a, a, a real radical. He started reading Mao, Marx, Malcolm X, you know, books like that. And, you know, he was very anti-government, you know, said nobody could tell him anything. But he started this drama crew, and he liked it. He really, you know, he enjoyed it. And so he went ahead, he got his GED, and from there he was allowed to go to Towson University for drama, and he got a bachelor's in theater, basically. And he was like, shoot, I ain't gonna stop there. He got out of jail because he was still in jail when he went to Towson. He would have to come back to jail. And when he got out of jail, he went to Yale and got his master's.
Yale.
Yale University, yes, Yale University, and got his master's degree in theater.
Wow.
And they call it a Master of Arts. And
I mean,
he went on. Of course, we know him for his show The Rock, and the character that he played. He said he fashioned him after a sanitation worker that he grew up with. And this gentleman, he said he used to just inspire him every day. But, you know, of course, it didn't really work out. But he said he never forgot the guy. And so he went on, did The Rock. He learned how to direct. He's Tony Award winning, Grammy nominated, NAACP award winning. You know, he's been in his movie listings are just like pages. I mean, if you think back, just about every movie that you can think of that had a black person in it, he was in it. He was either playing somebody. He was either somebody's father or somebody off in the corner. So he was in Alien. He was in everything. I was like,
he was in what's his name? Dundee. He had a cameo appearance in Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee. Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, my man. What's up, my man?
He's been in everything. I said, Dad, I forgot he was in that. Yeah, he was in that too. You know, whatever. But he really came from a really terrible place in his life. and was able to turn all of that around. Simply, he said that book changed his life, and it actually he credits his time in prison for changing his life. He said because it sat me down and made me read. And this is something that I've like been pushing on the show all along. Read, because a lot of the things that could really help us to figure out where we're going in the future is in books, you know,
Yeah.
and we need to teach our kids to read.
Hey,
It's
Gina,
very just, yes.
tell us the joke about black people if you want to hide something from a black person.
If you want to
Right in the
hide something
book.
from a black person, put it in a book.
Yeah.
And that
That's
is,
the one going to
when it was told to me, I really, my mouth just fell open. I was like, you're absolutely, I really, honestly, I was like, you are absolutely right.
You know what,
When is
Gina?
it?
When we was kids, my grandmother used to hide money in the Bible.
Exactly. I was going to
Nobody
say
ever
that.
stole it. Nobody ever found it because they wasn't going to pick that Bible up and look at it.
That's
But
it.
They wasn't gonna steal it.
That's
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
That'd be the one thing that would still be there. That's for sure. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
And
right. Well, I just want to, highlight him because he really, overcame quite a bit in life. He's 70 now. You know,
Hmm.
so I really just wanted to highlight that, and I also should I go on to my next person?
No, yeah, save your next one. Save your next
Okay,
one. You know you
all
coming
right.
back
when
again.
you finish,
Good.
I definitely want to say something about The Rock. Though when
It's
you
your
finish,
turn
though, I
now.
want to hear that. Mhm.
You right, Karen. I found it because I always had a book.
Yeah. Marion commented on something. I'm gonna tell you how small the world is. Marion commented that he was friends with her grandfather. He was good friends with my grandfather, who was Mr. Watkins, the police officer, who was known on Pennsylvania Avenue as my grandfather, who was Watkins Security. Marion, I've been knowing your grandfather all my life. He grew up in the next block. I'm from the 1200 block of Bentlow. He's from the 1100 block of Bentlow. He lived his second door from the corner, right there next to Winchester, where we turn that CC. I've been knowing
Yeah.
Mr. Watkins. I've been knowing Mr.
Mhm.
Sammy Murdoch, who is the officer who became officer friendly. Yeah, Mr. Watkins on Watkins Security grew up. He used to throw the baseball out in the back alley with us. I grew up in the next block from him. Been in his house multiple times. Know him well. You know what I mean? But Gina, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That was really powerful. Things you didn't know. I'm gonna speak out. So let me clear the air so that persons understand. And Dre, if you're listening, or people out there that's been in the world like me, been in them God-forsaken jails, let me tell you something. Let me make sure that I make this point. I have never did a bit in my life. Before it gets twisted, I've never did a bit in my life. A bit, everybody knows, is 5 years or more. I've never been incarcerated for over 5 years at one time in my life. I've been to a lot of jails. I've been locked up a lot of times. But I say that to Dre and them because Dre, not to tell your business, but we all out here to learn. Dre and them did bits. Lip and them did bits. Kunt and them did bits. You got people that's doing bits. You know what I mean? When you hear Doc and them talk about Dennis Wise and them, that's bitten. Warren Brown, when you talk about Sonny Rose and them, that's bitten. They've been gone for a minute. But let me tell you how hard it is to get through the system without picking up more time. Dre will tell you, you get over there, you can go into jail with a year or two and end up with 30. You can end up with a lot of time in jail. When you're in Hagerstown, you can cut across the grass and get some tickets and get more time. Somebody talk about doing something to you, it is people that's sitting back that's watching. You know what I mean? Yeah, hey, did a bit party. Listen, people that's sitting over there watching, Doc, tell them, they don't care what happened that you didn't do nothing about. Is somebody else in the wings watching saying, Hey, that boy Party ain't so tough. I just seen Doc talk to him greasy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what Doc said, he didn't mean nothing, just, you know what I mean, the wrong thing. But I ain't got no choice but to hit Doc in the mouth in case somebody else is watching that Doc talked to me greasy. You feel me? Because they know they got 10 years to get you. Dre and them know they got 10 years to get you. Did y'all hear how this man life turned? He stabbed somebody to death. First of all, Maryland don't have no self-defense law. I found that out when I shot somebody. A person can shoot you, you shoot him back, you want to jail. So Doc, if you didn't get nothing else from Gina's presentation, Doc, you know what she said? He was beefing with somebody that stabbed him first several times. He stabbed him back. He went to jail 3 years. He was fighting with a God who God star stuff. That's what happened with Tay, CC, right? That's how my son Delon, y'all listen, Tay. Tay's my son, Northern Pulaski. That's my son. That's how Tay got his bit, fighting with a God who started it with him and lost. Y'all know them chumps. They do it in a minute. They do it, started, and they lost. Now Tay got that. The most time that Rock got was over a beef in jail. Did you really hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? That's when he got the 8 years in jail. Not to go to jail. He got 8 years in jail. So that's some knowledge. When Gina gives you these things, y'all, I want y'all to know, our historian, she gives you some stuff like that, and then she'll look at you and say, did you know?
Right.
No, Gina, we didn't know. Now, Doc, you want to respond on that?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say just real quick, and just to show how real of a person he is, because he was good friends with my mentor.
Okay, we lost Doc. He'll be back.
Dr. Salusi, you ain't lose Dr. Salusi. He up there calling me, see? Anyway, y'all. AC, and let's move along, because we are, you know, we had a shortened show last time, and this time we want to be able to get everything in that we want to get in. See, do you have a topic today?
I do have a topic today, and I'm going to bring y'all my topic, and I know what y'all thinking, even though y'all know I don't care, that I am beating this dead horse, but I got to keep beating it, because if I don't, then...
Oh, well, let me stop this for a minute, wait, because we come from Perkins. Put Cunningham's comment back up. She's retired. She's a ranking officer at Clifton T. Perkins. They say, hey, guards are an offensive term to be called a correctional officer. Okay. You know, I don't know now, because in jail we always called them guards. But now, if we didn't learn anything else, I learned something when my wife told me that I call them Mexicans, and they are supposed to be called what they are? Hispanic? Help me along.
Yes.
Hispanic. Sometimes we don't know. You know, we don't know. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land. Cunningham has taught us something. The worded for this, Gina, what I'm trying to say about the term guards.
That the proper term, that's the proper term.
She's saying that, you know, that I guess they take offense to when you call the correctional officers guards.
A guard.
Right.
Okay.
That's the equivalent of stripper and exotic dancer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We had to learn to use the proper pronouns. So thank you for that, Karen. We'll keep that in mind.
A trash man and a sanitation engineer.
Absolutely.
And remember, y'all, CC and I retired with Cunningham at Perkins from the state for over 20 years, and I didn't know. As Gina says, you know what I mean? Did you know? I didn't know that it was offensive to call them guards. I've been calling them guards all along. You know what I mean? I didn't know. Now I know. Okay, I apologize. Back to you, C.
Okay. My topic is COVID related, and it's the VA health system's COVID vaccine mandate. So for those who don't know, the VA health system, one of the largest health systems in the United States, has come up with a new vaccine mandate for their employees. Their Title 38 healthcare employees, which includes healthcare employees such as physicians, nurses, dentists, anybody that does direct patient care. Now, they have given them 8 weeks to become fully vaccinated or face termination. So they are in jeopardy of losing their jobs if they do not get this COVID vaccine. They are the first federal agency in the United States to issue such a mandate. But these mandates, guys, if you're watching, paying attention, are ramping up again. The CDC has also suggested that even fully vaccinated people in crowded places, public places, go back to wearing masks. And in California, state employees that are healthcare workers at high risk in congregate settings are required to show proof of vaccination or be tested weekly. So we also have something in New York, municipal employees, meaning people that work for the city or the state. They must be vaccinated by mid-September or be tested weekly. So, guys, this is not a game. A group of bar owners in San Francisco got together and formed their own alliance, and it was 300 bars and establishments. They got together and they said that as of Thursday, today, any customer who wishes to remain inside must show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test that's within the last 72 hours. So that's just to get in the bar, to go and sit down and have a drink and enjoy some time with your friends. You know, this thing is so real, y'all. It's so real. And I was just learned this morning that in Louisiana, now they are saying that they are seeing an increase in cases of children who are between the ages of 5 and 11. So there's no vaccine for these young children. So as parents, as caregivers, as guardians, as mentors, as their village, we have to protect them by protecting ourselves, because they can't get vaccinated, but we can. And the thing about it is, they are saying that these children with this Delta variant are getting very, very sick. They have a child 5 months old in the pediatric ICU, not even sure if they're going to make it with a COVID infection. You know, these people, if you don't want to protect yourself, fine. But it's just so unfair to the people around you that you are walking around a ticking time bomb for them. The president called this second wave with this Delta variant a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Now, I know that there's somebody out here listening right now that's going to say, well, vaccinated people are getting the Delta variant as well, so why should I get vaccinated? The vaccine is not a cure, but it is a layer of protection. You may get sick. There's no guarantees in life, period. But you may get sick, but you won't die. You know, after what we went through last year, after being in quarantine for a whole year, people losing businesses that'll never recover, they'll never come back. loved ones, those people that almost 500,000 people that died. They'll never be able to see their children walk across their stage or kiss their grandbabies or anything. They're gone. Death is final. So, as for me, I would take getting my vaccine, and yes, I'm fully vaccinated, over the alternative. I will take maybe I might get sick over I might die. So I just bring this up. I know that people who watch us regularly may say that I'm harping on this issue, but this is so important because last year was not fun. It was not fun. My husband and I say now, if it taught us nothing else, it taught us to be more careful with our money because you can go broke. You know what I'm saying? The people that don't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason, I mean, I don't understand your train of thought. I know that a lot of people say, well, it's got an emergency use authorization and this, that, and the third. You don't know we only know that they have an emergency use authorization because they told us. But you don't know the polio vaccine, mumps, measles, rubella. We've been getting these vaccines forever. We never questioned who took, how it came out, how long it took. We never questioned any of those things. But now that we have seen lives taken and people ravished all over the world, not just in the United States, all over the world. In France, you have to have your digital COVID passport to go to the Louvre Museum, to go in a restaurant. Italy is also ramping up theirs again with more mandates and stricter COVID restrictions. And some of these people, I mean, absolutely, it's your right to make whatever decision that suits you. But later on today, President Biden is also supposed to be making an announcement about increased COVID measures. We're going backwards, people. We are going backwards when we're supposed to be moving forward. And we don't have to. We don't have to. I know that anytime something comes out that's new, it's scary, but we already have seen the alternative. We already have seen what happens without these vaccines. And be careful what you ask for because you just may get it. When we were all sitting in the house and we couldn't hug our grandmother last year and we couldn't go out to a movie or sit down and have a meal at a restaurant, we all said that they need to come out with something that's going to stop this virus. Well, they did it. They did it. And now we have a problem with that. Now we refuse to take the vaccine. And just for me, and I can only speak for myself personally, I love my friends, I love my family and everything. But I don't really want to be spending a lot of time with unvaccinated people. I'm sorry. Because I did what I had to do to protect me and my family and those around me that I love. Because it's not always all about you. I did what I had to do, and anybody else that doesn't do what they have to do, then I respect your right to make your own decision. But respect my right to protect my life. This is serious. This is serious. It's not some made up fictitious thing. We have all witnessed this up close and personal. And it's a lot of misinformation out here about the vaccine, and a lot of people play into that. They can come up with a million reasons why they shouldn't be vaccinated, but I can come up with one why you should. You can die.
Yeah, well,
Amen.
that would let me. I want to go first on that. I think about it when you said that. Gina said this way back when it was just starting. Back in the day, we came up. You got polio shots, you got measles, you got chicken pox. You ain't asked what was in it. They took you in the nurse's office at school. She shot you in your arm, told you don't cry, gave you a sucker, and you went on to class. That's it. That's all. You couldn't go to school if you ain't get that shot. You didn't question it. Well, none of that foolishness going on. I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm just now finding out. I was so naive to this thing. That's why I thank God for the podcast. I was so naive. I just thought that if you wasn't vaccinated, you were in a third world country. I really thought everybody had the vaccination. I was so naive. After they start opening up down at where Gina's gonna be working down at M&T Stadium, when you could just walk up. The whole thing was, what was it, 42 minutes from going through the door, Gene? From getting out the car.
Start to finish. And this was in the height of the vaccination.
42 minutes. And there was thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people there. They had us in there from the car to back in the car, 42 minutes. It didn't hurt. It didn't take nothing. I mean, what is the matter with people? And as I'm going on, I'm talking about more people and more people that literally haven't gotten a shot. And I ain't just talking dope fiends. I ain't talking ignorant, uncouth, uneducated people. I'm talking intelligent individuals making bad decisions. You just making bad decisions. Before I move to the next person, let me tell you how bad the decision is. My wife is going down to see one of her best friends, Majid. Shout out to Majid. Congratulations. She's went back to college at 40-some years old. Sarah, I thought that was the craziest thing I ever seen. She's getting ready to be RN. And she's going down there. We going down there to Vegas to see her graduate. That's one of my wife's best friends going there to see her graduate. And we're going down to Vegas to the Ravens opening game. So we always go to Vegas. Do you know, because of all this COVID and all this foolishness, a $600 flight now costs us, what, like $1,200, $1,180?
Yeah.
There's no Southwest flights. All the flights are gone. They're out of Majid said they're out of jet fuel on the eastern coast.
On the West Coast. On the West Coast, they have a shortage of jet fuel due to COVID.
If nothing else, y'all, don't you realize it's hitting your pockets? Don't you realize COVID is the answer for hitting your pockets? You know how much gas is costing there? This is just bad decision making, y'all. And then the last thing is somebody said, yeah, but I ain't take the shot because didn't a doctor take that and get sick? And somebody took it and died. 2 or 3 people took it and got sick. 1 or 2 died. I know where 500,000 people are dead that didn't take it. You damn idiot too.
Absolutely. And one thing that I say, people need to understand what a vaccine is. A vaccine is not a cure. Yeah. It's not a cure. A vaccine is a layer of protection. And I would rather take my chances with it than without it. And all the people, the friends, because, as you have these conversations with people, just like Maurice was saying, we got some people that are some friends that are sharp. You know what I'm saying? And as you just have casual conversations with people and they'll just casually spit out, yeah, I ain't take no vaccine. I might try to see if I can go get the vaccine. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
People that you've been standing next to the whole time, Doc and Gina, that you would never know in a million years haven't been vaccinated. You would have never thought him. You'd have never thought her in a million years. You know what I mean?
And one thing, you don't want to dive all into people's personal business, but from now on, and to all my friends that's watching, I apologize. Because now I'm going to have to start asking. I'm going to have to start asking and not just assuming because, last year was a rough time. So many people in our family had COVID, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm just not willing to take that chance. So let me, as my husband say, I'm apologize in advance for getting in your business. But if you're gonna be around me, I need to know. Sorry, not sorry.
Well, it's
Gina,
funny. It's funny
Doc,
you say that. I carry my car with me. You know, I'm
Me
not
too.
playing. I'm
Me
not playing
too.
with them. You know what I'm saying? And cause one of the things is that I say, and it's funny because I actually had a dream one night. I woke up and and the word that was in my mind was being unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? And I'm unapologetic about what I believe and what I'm doing because I realize that people that are doing certain things, they ain't worrying about offending you for doing
Right.
wrong. And so we have to get to a point where we are not apologetic for doing right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so we have to just keep it, moving. With that, it's unfortunate that people have no problem with doing certain things that will affect you. Now, if you in some cabin or you in the mountains in Tibet in some hut and you don't come around nobody and nobody don't come around you, then fine. And you grow your own food and you don't have to go out and get gas, then fine. You do whatever you feel you need to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to be around at least one person, if you're going to want to go see your nana, want to see your grandmother, you want to make sure that when you want to walk your child to school and you want to do different things, you know what I'm saying? It's offensive that you don't be more considerate about other people and far as their life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's they have to understand it's not about you. It's not about
right.
you. It's about who you can affect and how that can affect everybody else.
Right.
1 second before you go, Gina, put Sandy's comment back up there again, CC, please, and somebody read it. Sandy
1
Dotson,
second. 1 second.
take your time, because they chiming in today. Somebody
People
read it,
don't
please.
people don't know what is in the medicine they take, but the doctor prescribes it, so they take it. They don't know what's in their food, but they eat it. But are so ignorant to the vaccine, something that will positively save their lives.
Hands up,
Absolutely.
hands up, Sandy, hands up. Give it to
I
him,
agree
Sandy.
100%.
Hands up. Hands up, 100%. Good job. Good post, Sandy. And hello, my friend. She's another person from us. Hey, Carolyn. That's right. Yeah.
Carolyn said, I
Yeah.
respect your opinion and your choice to get vaccinations, but there's some reasons why I have chose not to get vaccination. I have an organ transplant and available vaccines are not currently putting the right amount of antibodies. I'm choosing to take 4 more shots. I mask up, but I have to make sure I do what is right for me. And that right there, Carolyn, and we respect that. That's a totally different situation.
Yeah,
That's a
that's right.
totally different situation because
Yours
some
is a
Yes,
people,
health
it
issue.
is.
right, some people do have reasons why they cannot take the vaccine.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's different. That's different.
Yeah. That's right. Gina, comment.
Get the shot.
Wait a minute. Wear the damn mask. Thank you very much. Hey, y'all. That's one thing I always say about CC, my wife. That's her topic. That's her topic. Her topic is something that we're always going to have opinions on. Is always going to get us going, get the blood moving and stuff. But that's what she does. She researches it, and that's what we come up with. That's an awesome topic, CC, and it's something to talk about. And to y'all out there, I let H stand 21 years in the military. I have the idea that the government has given me. Yeah, what the government has given me. No, and no. There you go. There you go. That's he's retired from the military. A person I grew up with, my friend, volunteer, and he got a long line of it. His son now's in the military, Marine. Hoorah, as they always say. My nephew Andre, hoorah. A lot of persons out there. He said Uncle Sam been giving them shots for 20 years, and he just had to take them. He don't have a clue what was in it. But guess what? Take it or go to the brig or get out the service.
Right. And just like for these people, these federal workers and municipal workers, you're not going to put food in your kid's mouth because you don't want to take the vaccine. That's crazy.
You idiot. Hey, y'all, move along. Great topic, CC. Gina, where you at? What's your second topic?
Well, it's a feel good topic. That was kind of sort of a feel good topic. You remember?
After CC finished everything a feel good topic, but go ahead.
Well, I'm going to talk about the king of infomercials, Ron Popeil. You remember Ron Co?
Yeah.
Well, Ron.
Commercial.
Well, he passed away recently. He was 86 years old, but he's the one who coined the phrase "set it and forget it."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this was his other phrase. But wait, there's more.
Yeah. For sure he did. He used to always say that.
So
Yeah, he was on television every day.
They say that he had more airtime than any other celebrity to date.
He going to hell.
Just doing infomercials. And his first item, which was the Showtime rotisserie. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Showtime rotisserie blew QVC out the water at the time in that Amazon. Blew QVC out the water. He made $1 billion on the Showtime rotisserie.
Wow.
$1 million? $1 million? $1 billion?
No. With the B. Billion. $1 billion. Okay. He also had the Pocket Fisherman. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember the Pocket Fisherman.
I bought that. I ain't gonna lie.
I got one of them.
I bought one of those. the Chaco-matic.
Bought one of them.
Yeah. Mr. Microphone. Mr. Microphone.
And I've heard that thing over and over. I didn't see her.
Mr. Microphone. And Hair in a Can.
Hair in a can.
Hair in a can. That's why nobody really knew how old he was, because he was and do you remember they would show a person's bald head and they would spray it. It was like these fibers that would actually color the person's hair. That's the first time I'd ever seen that. It was amazing. But yeah, he passed away. But he passed away a billionaire. That's for darn sure. I'm telling you.
With a B.
With a B.
Jesus. Right.
See?
I remember that chopper.
Read a book and figure out how to invent something, and we'll all be rich.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Once again, everybody out there in podcast land, I am so ecstatic about everybody chiming in, joining in. We are here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. We are here
9:30.
Okay.
9:30. There you go.
There go. See, she doing it. She doing it. That's why I never should have gave her that job. Anyway, we're here at 9:30 every Tuesday morning. We're here at 9:30 every Wednesday morning with Dr. Ted Talk. We're
we're not. 6:30 p.m. for Dr. Ted Talks. We're here on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. for Dr. Ted Talks. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. for Simply Us, and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. for Live with Gina Lee. Did you know? So those are our schedules. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. And everybody, please go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Simply Us by Party Marty. So please subscribe to the channel, because we're also streaming live on YouTube.
And
Back to you, Chief.
Only reason why I don't have that job, y'all, is because I don't want it. That job she just did, I don't want that. That's your job, Nan. You wanted it. You got it. You want it. You got it. And you need, hey, put that up there in lights too, so we can have it, so I won't mess it up. Hey, everybody, real talk. Another great show. Another great show. Hey, listen, our participation is off the chain. Our participation is off the chain. That means you. That means that you're chiming in. That means that you're commenting. That means that you're doing the part that you need to do. That's keeping us fresh, keeping us going, keeping us active. We want to, at this time, real talk, we want to thank y'all for your participation. Hey, Karen. Okay, you will. She said she'll.
We know you will. We know you will. Thank you, Karen. You're so loyal and faithful. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, Karen, BB, everybody that helps in. Charles Taylor, have a great day, family. Thank you, my friend.
Sharice, how are you?
There you go. That's what's up. Hey, we want y'all to know we want to thank Cunningham Karen for opening up her wallet. You know, we don't go off on the shows talking about asking for dollars and cents because we're okay. But Cunningham was one of the award winners for our podcast trip that we're taking to Harriet Tubman, and she was unable to go, so she gave her spot to somebody, and then she called in and donated and paid for the food. So I want to shout out to Cunningham, who opened up her wallet to pay for lunch for everybody on our first tour. We're going to start doing some little other things. Have a great day, Carol. We're going to start doing some small other things. But I'm going to tell y'all as an audience are awesome. Y'all are artists and awesome. Please, 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 please keep it up. Please join us and have some fun. Tomorrow, I need to see the same participation. Sharice, I need to see the same participation for Did You Know? Yeah. That's how she's going to do. Did you know? That's really cool.
And a lot of y'all, I know I tagged the you know what out of everybody on Facebook last night. And I just want to say thank you guys for showing up. Vita Sessions, Marion Jackson, Lisa Williams. It was a lot of y'all. I just went through and started tagging because I know my village and I knew who would show up. So thank you guys. Yeah. We really appreciate you and we hope you
Big
continue
John's
to watch.
A regular again, Stan, everybody, y'all, Kenny Davis and stuff like that. Look, all right, let's go around the hall and take us home. Closing thoughts, Doc.
Well, you know what? It was a blessing, but I just wanted to say something because my phone actually overheated earlier when I was talking about
and
it just cut me off when I was talking about. Yeah, when I was talking about The Rock, but I just wanted to say he is just such a great gentleman. He was friends with my mentor, Dennis Wise, and then also my godfather, Little Melvin Williams. But this man, actually, when I was in Philadelphia, he sat up and talked to me in the lobby of a hotel about Bumpy Johnson because he had just met with Bumpy Johnson's wife, Mamie Johnson. And he talked to me until 2 o'clock in the morning and, you know, and the whole nine. And I just was amazed that, you know, this man took the time with me and really, you know, so he is just such a great person all the way around. And so, you know, I really appreciate the story that she actually did on him. And so, you know, y'all stay safe, you know, and let's try to make a difference out there.
There you go. You know, I think back about every time I think about Rock, I think about they used to be at the bar down there in Sandtown. They would be showing from live there. And it was so fascinating that he was just a regular guy. You know what I mean? You could see them outside doing the show, and it was really cool. I forget the bar. We used to go down there too to get the fit subs, but that was cool. CC, closing thoughts.
Get the shot. That's all I have to say. We're moving in the wrong direction, y'all. We're just moving in the wrong direction. So we need to be ever vigilant. Those of us who are able should go out and take the shot. And for our good friend and our favorite accountant, Carolyn Hill, that's one more reason to take it. Because I want to be safe because I love Carolyn and I want to protect her. You know, so you got to realize that it's important for those of us who can to do it for those who can't. because we don't want to expose them. We don't want them to get sick with a compromised immune system. So do what you can, and let's handle this responsibly because we know what can happen.
And let me tell y'all something else too. Good point, Cece. Let me tell y'all something else. Sandy, that was a good point you made, Sandy, and thank you for the comments. Everybody that put comments in there. Let me tell you something about these things too that people don't pay any attention to. Carolyn is the matriarch of her family. Carolyn's the I have one. My daughter Victoria is by her sister. You know, her baby sister. But let me tell you something. Carolyn is the matriarch of her family. Believe it or not, a lot of y'all don't know. You can lose one person out of your 100 people, and it will affect your family immediately and immensely. Immediately and immensely. I mean, I don't supposed to tell Carolyn business, but most of all, it's Carolyn money. You know what I mean? Everybody got those families that people die and stuff like that. The same people bury them. Everybody got those families that the cookout is at the same house. Everybody got that family when somebody run on hard times, they move in with them. Everybody got that family that you need help. They always there. You know what I mean? Well, that's Carolyn. That's Carolyn. You feel me? We need it. If you are participating in being the vehicle that helps a person like Carolyn get sick, shame on you.
Shame
I'm
on
not saying
you.
everybody should get the shot. I'm saying everybody should get the shot, in my opinion. I'm saying, in my opinion, everybody should get the shot. Only because you're affecting other people. That's the point that CC made. You're affecting other people. Don't you know that child can be playing in school and having the time of his life, not sick, and playing dodgeball and eating bonbons and having a good time? And do you know that child could go home and kill grandma?
Yeah.
Is anybody paying attention to that?
Yeah.
Grandma, whose immune system is compromised, who she told us. Carolyn, whose immune system is compromised because she told us. It's people out here whose systems are compromised, and you are jeopardizing their family. Not just them. You're jeopardizing generations. Carolyn has grandkids. And that little boy, if you ever call her, this is such and such, her son is my godson. He's really my, you know what I mean? But that's her godson. And Lisa Williams, Lisa Tate's
Lisa
man.
is our niece, and she's our favorite insurance lady. So she just put it out there too, that if you're not going to get the vaccine, call us. We'll give you Lisa's number because you need some life insurance.
Yeah, real talk. All right, moving right along. Gina Lee, closing thoughts.
It's Leo season, and I hope to see a birthday this year, and I hope to see another one next year, if God willing, and COVID don't kill me.
Yeah, that's true. Y'all know I usually end with first of all, hands up panel. Hands up panel. Out there in podcast land. When we go hands up, we want y'all going hands up too. Because everybody loves a dad boy. Let somebody tell y'all my birthday don't matter. Everybody loves to hear happy birthday. Everybody loves to hear well done. So do we. You can be around people, tell somebody they did a good job. Tell somebody something. I'm going to change the way I leave out of here. I'm gonna change the way I leave out here. I usually leave out with my M&M, but my mother has been on my heart. You know what I mean? And it's something. Thank you, Karen. It's something that she always says, and is one of her favorite songs. And I'm gonna start leaving out with that. You know what I mean? It's from us in the panel, and Dr. Sutton is just on the left, and it goes simply this. It says, "May the work we've done speak for me. May the life we've lived speak for me. When I'm resting in my grave, oh Lord, may they say, may the service we've given on this podcast speak for me." I'm going to tell y'all, we really trying to get out the message out there. We trying to help some people while y'all are helping us. Gina Lee keeps crying. I keep crying. This is a good day. I want y'all to know we really thank y'all for joining in. Please, you heard the schedule that CC gave us. Please support us and join in the mod. Stay joined in all the time. This is so wonderful for me. As I say, the ex-West Baltimore jailbird dope free thug, thank y'all for this. I mean it. Party Body is telling you, thank y'all for this. All right, y'all. Hands up one last time. Hands up one last time. We always leave out. You know what I mean? Have a wonderful day in the Lord. And as always, to God be the glory. But Kenny Davis takes us home all the time with the same thing. If you don't forget this, everybody, that go out there and have a great day.
A great day on purpose.
Have a great
On
See you later, Gina Lee. Bye-bye, Gina Lee. Bye-bye.
Hold up.
Bye-bye.
Roll up. 3, 2,
2, 1. That. Yes. Run, tell that. You
Run, tell that, you snake.
Later, y'all.
I love y'all, man. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for joining in. See you tomorrow. Same bad time.